Family. Good evening, Genderqueer chatters. It's Jo, Fridays with Jo, and this week's topic is, I kind of didn't like it, but I guess the more I think about it, the more I think it is kind of a poignant topic. It is. Let me just reach under Stanley's belly and scroll down. Genderqueer and dating. How does your gender identity play out in potential dating situations? And the short answer, the answer that I was going to give, was I don't date. This doesn't apply to me, which is the short answer. And the long answer would be probably the reason I don't date has a lot to do with my gender identity. And yeah, so I'm going to explore that now. And probably, this is actually tough. This is tough for me. In previous videos, I think I've identified or I've mentioned that I lean asexual, which is true. I don't have much of a sex drive. I don't have any real desire to pair bond or couple up or have a boyfriend or any of those things. That being said, I did have boyfriends throughout my life. I'm not opposed to the idea of having one again under the right circumstances. But every boyfriend I've ever had has come about through not what I would call dating. Dating is a foreign concept to me. And some years ago, so I've been single for 11 years. And some years ago, maybe 6 or 7 or 8 years ago, I did join a dating site, a website. And I remember feeling very compelled to explain myself up front, so that guys knew what they were getting into. And I think I called myself hippie chick or something stupid like that. I was really trying to get, I think because, and this is a fixation of mine, you'll probably think, if you watch my videos and you know me, you're probably going to say, yeah, she talks about that a lot. The fact that I don't shave is a huge part of my life. And I think because we live in such a hyper-shaved world, it's something I'm hyper-conscious about. It's just I'm very conscious about the fact that I don't shave. And I try and talk about it before other people bring it up, I guess, because I don't like people looking at me funny or... and I'm not even talking about just in general society, specifically sexually. It turns men off, a lot of men off sexually. It's not considered a sexually attractive thing for a woman to be hairy. And so for many years I was a woman who was hairy, who was attracted to heterosexual men. Now luckily, every boyfriend I ever had didn't care. One was European, one was raised Unitarian Universalist, which they're kind of hippie in their own way. They have like a nudist camp at their church campground, if that gives you any idea. Another guy was a lot older than me and he just didn't care. A lot of guys just didn't care, but I know in a dating situation, I really feel like it's something I should explain up front. And that's awkward. That's really awkward to have to say, well, you should probably know that I'm this way and that way and I don't wear makeup and I'm you know, to have to explain all these stupid little quirks about myself. When really, in reality, now that I know the word, the better word is genderqueer. So the better word would be to explain to someone that I'm genderqueer and all that goes along with that, or gender variant, or gender, not gender normative. Is that the word? I don't adhere to gender norms and all that entails. But I don't want to have to explain that either. Which kind of rules out dating altogether, you know, just this whole business of hooking up with someone for the purposes of romance or sex, and doing so, you know, with that in mind when you meet these people or when you arrange to get together with these people. So historically, guys I've gone out with, I've met in my life in situations I've never pursued a date through a dating service. I never went on any dates on that dating service, by the way. So, you know, I met guys through friends or at the bar, or one guy was my landlord. It was crazy in love with my landlord. You know, you just meet people in life. And the thing is, when people get to know me, I don't need to explain it. I don't need to say it in words. It's obvious. If you see me and I'm wearing shorts and I have hairy legs, I don't need to talk about that. You can see with your own eyes and you can gauge whether or not that's something you want to either look past because you like me for me, or maybe that sexually turns you on. I don't know. But it does definitely, I believe, hinder my... It puts me in a position where I have no desire to date at all, or to pursue dating, or to join dating websites or anything like that. I'm not opposed to romance, and I'm not opposed to, I guess, if I found a guy that I liked and he liked me back, we would date. We would go places together, right? We would do things together. I liked Matt's video with Lexi. That was awesome. Hi, Lexi. Welcome in your own little... I know you're only on one time. Yeah, just... He just hopped up, so I thought I'd introduce. And he's going to knock the camera. Sweetie. Don't mind me. Chocolate is my best friend. Oh, look what I have. Chocolate pop. Or soda, if you want to call it soda. We call it pop in Canada. It's American. I just got back from cross-border shopping. And I'm swigging it out of the bottle. So, the fact that I have alternate gender identity poses a problem for me. Sorry about the camera. That's Stanley's little tail. Good boy. Oh, he's gonna lay down. Be still. Eli. It's gonna pose problems for me because I guess I have some hang-ups regarding disclosure or feeling, and it's not that I don't want to disclose, it's that I tend to err on the other side of disclosing too much too soon and kind of pushing people away, I think, by saying it almost as if, well, here's your out now, don't even bother to get to know me because you might not be sexually attracted to this. I definitely think I do have some hang-ups in that regard. I'm not, Eli. Hey, sweetie. I don't know what came first, chicken or the egg. Like, I don't know if I don't want to date because I'm genderqueer, or I'm genderqueer because or I have gender issues because I'm opposed to all things binary, and dating is always something I associated with the binary. I know genderqueer people date, and I know queer people date and so forth, but I mean, when you put yourself on the market and say, I'm available for dating, you kind of have to sell yourself, and you kind of have to have up for sale what people want to buy. And I guess I just don't feel like I have what people want to buy. I'm not, I think I mentioned this in a previous video, I don't get hit on. I haven't been hit on in years and years and years and years. And it doesn't bother me. I'm not complaining. I'm not sore about it, or it's like, oh, nobody loves me, or I'm not sexually attractive. I'm glad that I am not sexually attractive to people, because the years that I was, it was a pain in the ass to have to keep kind of this facade up of trying to not be rude, but try to turn them down. Or I just live in a completely different world. You know, I live a very, I want to say solitary life, but it's not solitary. I mean, I have a lot of fun. I do a lot of things. I have a lot of friends. It's just not, I don't have romantic leanings, and I don't have sexual leanings. So I have no desire to date, and I have no desire to put myself on the market, and I have no desire to have to explain. It's not even that I fear rejection, because I guess I presume rejection, and it's that it's an exasperation of thinking, oh, for fuck's sakes, you're one of them too, kind of thing. Or I think I've mentioned this in previous videos too. I have a very, very pretty sister, and all my life I heard, your sister's so pretty. And I never took that as an insult to me, that I wasn't pretty, but it definitely just rang a bell in my head that these men like pretty girls. And I'm not pretty in that way, so they don't like, and they don't like me, they're telling me so, insofar as they're saying they like my sister and not me. It just kind of reinforced the idea that this large chunk of men was attracted to a woman like that. And I'll never be a woman like that, and I don't want to be a woman like that. I want to be a woman, for God's sakes. So, you know, I think things need to happen organically for me. Anybody that I ever do go hook up with or go out with or whatever in my lifetime, date in my lifetime, it's got to happen organically. And I don't want to ever have to explain myself. You know, I would like for it to just be part of, I'm just trying to think of what a good example would be. You know, if you meet someone and after a few weeks of knowing them, you find out that they're a vegetarian or something, and you didn't know, and it's just no big deal. It doesn't impact their life any. It doesn't matter that they're a vegetarian. It doesn't matter that I don't shave. It really doesn't impact your life any. If you like me for me, and we're attracted to each other's brains, because I seem to be a cerebral person and attracted to cerebral things, I'm probably going to have to try and wind up with a guy who's not really into the body so much. The other thing is I haven't dated since I got fat. And that's very interesting because I never had issues regarding weight, or I never felt, when I was skinny, I never thought anything about guys who dated fat girls, or I never thought there was something, guys who dated fat girls must have had some kind of weird fetish. I think guys who date skinny girls have a fetish, but anyways. But now that I am fat, it's very interesting because you can see definitely how that plays into things. And I'm really into fat acceptance, and I really believe that the human body is the human body, and you can't, I wouldn't want to be with a guy who didn't want to be with a fat girl, you know, but I don't want a guy who's fetishizing a fat girl either. So interesting, whatever. I've rambled on for 10 minutes about this, but it was a very, very poignant subject, and I'm glad it was picked this week, and we'll catch you next week. Have a good one, you guys. Bye-bye.